Okay, it's Davin Sundvik here with the catch today, and sorry about the lighting. Okay, we're gonna try to get through this quickly. We're just gonna be going over showing how to clean a modern rifle after shooting black powder through it. Now, there's a couple ways to do cleanings with black powder. You can do a deep cleaning, and this is best if you're planning on storing the weapon that you use black powder with for more than a couple of months with between uses. If you're going to be using this in like a week or so, the method that I'm going to be showing you today is going to work just fine. But pretty much the only difference is you'd be taking apart the gun, wiping it down a little bit more thoroughly with some CLP. Versus today, we're just going to be wiping it kind of just throughout the barrel and in the action. The first step that you're going to do is you're going to inspect the bolt. I can see there's a tiny bit of residue on the bolt, so we will be cleaning the bolt today and just inside the action, and then as long along the barrel as well. So what I use is shotgun sized cleaning patches. You can, cut your own patches or whatever you like to do for patches, and simply fold it up. And this is just an old liquor bottle, one of those 2-ounce liquor bottles that I just put soap and water in it. That's right, you heard it. It is just dish soap, antibacterial dish soap, and water. The only reason why I like to keep it in the little glass jar is I can put a cap on it and it doesn't spill. And what I find is that other containers that allow more air inside the container, when you change elevation, because I live in the mountains in Nevada, when you change elevations, your containers are gonna leak or they're gonna just break. So the less air inside the container, the better, unless the container was designed to be pressurized. So that being said, we just do our first swab of the barrel, and I like to kind of go up and then forward and backward on the way back. And it's gonna be super dirty. Don't worry about it. We're just going to put that off to the side for reference. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. So all we're doing right now is just saturating the barrel with soapy water. The more soapy water that ends up in the barrel first, the easier it is going to be to clean the barrel when we're in the drying phase. If you do not get enough soapy water in there, then you're going to have to dry it, then redo this process all over again. And if you are dumb enough to spray any kind of petroleum-based lubricant down the barrel before it is completely clean, then you're going to have to do this like 10 times. So that's what makes it difficult to clean. It's not that black powder is insanely hard to clean compared to other powders. And all we're doing is we're going back and forth. This is giving a little bit of a scrubbing action, as well as just depositing more soapy water inside the barrel. And you can see that even in just one patch, there's already a difference between the first patch and the second patch. So it gets cleaner a lot faster than you think. Okay. So with this next patch, we're also going to use soapy water as well, while the inside of the barrel is drying. And we're simply going to wipe anywhere that we believe that black powder residue could have gotten itself lodged during the firing process within some reasonable amount of air. I'm not too worried about getting every single detail, but what I am worried about is any major chunks of residue not getting cleaned up, because that's what's going to cause rusting over the long-term period of time. Then now we're just cleaning the bolt. Okay. And then now we're going to take a dry patch. We're just going to dry everything off now. We don't want a lot of that water to sit there because water also causes rust. So that's the problem with this process of using black powder, is preventing rust. Now this is a chrome lined barrel, and it's Cerakoted, so it's got all kinds of rust protections on it. So I'm actually not too worried about this rifle having black powder on it. And as you can see, this is getting a lot cleaner. Now, something that we have to know about black powder is it has graphite in the powder. So don't necessarily worry about getting it 100% perfectly clean. Our goal is to get it clean, dry, and that the black residue is completely removed. I'm okay with a little bit of this brownish, grayish graphite that's left behind, but what I'm not okay with is any amount of black powder whatsoever. So now that that's done, we're simply going to be lubricating the gun. So that wasn't super painful to do. It wasn't as big of a pain in the butt as people want you to think it is. I mean, I used 4 patches in this entire process. So all I do is I just put the patch on my dirty pile. I spray it, and that's just so the CLP doesn't bleed through the patch and get on my my table here, which is really my freezer that I use as a table. I'm just going to lube up that barrel. A little bit of CLP. Lube up the action a little bit, just to kind of keep it protected. And then we're going to lube up just the bolt face and the bolt head. And that's all we do. It's that easy to clean a gun that has had black powder run through it. It is not as hard as you think. So next time, somebody tells you that, oh, cleaning black powder is a pain in the butt, you've watched it. It's not that hard, okay? You just have to have the right tools, the right process, and you have to know how black powder works, okay? And black powder is a natural, component, okay? And it's derived from charcoal, from sulfur and saltpeter to some ratio. And smokeless powder, I don't know the formula, the chemical formula for it, but it is not quite as simple of a formula from what I understand. So we use a lot of these very advanced chemicals in order to clean our smokeless powder off our guns. So if anything, maybe we should make the argument that it's smokeless powder that's the harder powder to clean from. So cleaning is urgent, but it is by no means a major chore.